What's going on, everyone? It's Dustin. Hopefully you've had a wonderful weekend. Hopefully you had a wonderful day yesterday. I know the recording was a little bit different yesterday, and I hope that you had a green day today if you traded. Happy Taco Tuesday. So today, every decision that I made prior to a trade was good. Every decision that I made during a trade may not have been so good. So obviously things can influence you when you're in a trade. We have to try to limit our emotions, and that's one of the things that I kind of struggled with today, with going back and forth on everything. So if you don't know by now, I think I mentioned it in a previous video, I actually notate with Claude while I'm trading all the time. I open it up and I just say, here are my thoughts about the trade, and I'm up X amount of points or down X amount of points, whatever the case is, and let it go from there. And then he gives feedback. It gives feedback. And then I kind of take that into account, because sometimes it's pointed out things that I didn't realize was a pattern. Today was one of those days. And so I use it not as a trading crutch or anything like that, just something so I can speak my thoughts out, because I don't record live or trade live. So this is the only way I can get feedback with what I'm doing and catch patterns that it points out. So today I'm going to talk about a couple of those things as we go. I'm going to start with the top down. We'll start with the daily and go from there. All right, so on the daily, we opened up and we had sold off pretty hard through the pre-market. So yesterday you can see we had a big wick up, small body, kind of flipped from the Friday before, and we're selling down. The prior day low and pre-market high were very close together, and then the pre-market low was way down here. So I had a couple of different ideas about a long trade and a short trade in the setup for today, and you'll see those in the lower time frames. On the 4 hour here, I want to kind of expand it a little bit. I'll try to zoom in if I need to as well, but each one of these black lines again separates the days. So today we opened up and just sold down, and then yesterday we kind of rolled over. So with the rollover happening and this selling down, there was a couple of places that I had targets at. So one was in this support area right here at the top of it, at the bottom of it, and another one was at this support area here, with the bottom being down here. This was my long target. You can see I actually had this drawn from way back here, and so this was my longest target down here. My first target right here got hit pretty early on in the day. So the daily was down, the 4 hour was down, the 1 hour was down. So here you can see market open. We kind of pushed up a little bit and then down. I had a shelf, or not a shelf, but a fair value gap here, a fair value gap here. This was a shelf sort of up here if I wanted to extend it, but I just done the fair value gap through here. And you can see we're still down here at the bottom. I put this in as a support area that we could bounce off of. On the 15-minute, we were down. You can see VWAP is down all the way across the board. I got a support area through here. We came into it and kind of chopped around, tried to push out of it at market open, and then sold down, raised back up into it, and then sold down again. So this was the fair value up here. You can see we kind of came through that, so this box isn't really relevant anymore. And this box here is sort of been tapped, but not really. So you can kind of see we're trying to kind of go higher, and that was kind of some of my nervousness about being in the long trade, or in the short trade, I mean. So for the 5 minute, you can see we got the opening range high, opening range low, big, like 160 point range is what we had today. We tried to poke through and couldn't, tried again and couldn't, and then finally sold down. So I entered my long position here. We pushed down pretty good. I thought we were just going to run and not even look back, and then we pulled back. So this is one of the thoughts that I had during or before the trade. So when I was looking at everything, because I use TradingView as well, like you saw in the video yesterday and a couple other times, that's where my actual indicator is. It runs on TradingView, and the midline is right here, and our middle of the bands line on the indicator was in this same area as well. So initially I did put my entry, I put another entry in this shelf right here, like right where this wick would have hit here. But when price was down here and I was like, okay, I might have that add in, and price started coming back up, I looked at the 1 hour, and you can see about 10 o'clock here on the 1 hour, I drew this box. So I actually moved my entry for the second candle, or for second entry, up to about 29,790. Left it sitting there for a while. So this candle, the high got to 29,691. So we were like a good number of points away from the, well, let's say 788, 788. So it was like somewhere like right through here is where I moved it up to. And really, I should have just left it in this one here, just above the pre-market low and just below the midline. But I wanted to limit the risk a little bit more, and I really wanted the 1 hour one to get touched. So I moved it up a little bit higher and left it there until we sold down. So then we sold down. I canceled that order and just kind of went with managing the trade. So we sold down pretty good, and then we started coming up. I took a second entry here in this fair value gap that I had here. I did put this order in and let it tag it in case we pulled up to it and reversed hard. We didn't. We kind of pushed through it, chopped around, even pushed back up toward this gap again, and then sold off. And I had to leave. I had an appointment at 1 o'clock, so I left to go to that appointment. When I came back, we were like down here. I think, yeah. So my appointment was at 1. This was at like 2 when I got back. So I started drawing some boxes, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I drew this box. This is still in the 5 minute. I drew this box here. We wicked into it. We wicked into it. We wicked into it. I'm like, oh, great. So we put in these 2 wicks up here. I put this box here. I said, okay, I'm going to see what happens if we come back up into this area. We came up into it and we sold down. So I was happy with that. I'm like, okay. So then we were pushing into power hour. So right when power hour started, we put a doji candle in. We put another doji candle in. And I was like, okay, we kind of wicked into this shelf here, so I'm going to put my stop right there. We spiked up to it, hit it, and now we're selling back off again. We may ultimately go to my area where I had my take profit at. You can see both entries were stopped right here on this one candle that pushed up. In hindsight, again, everything is in hindsight, I should have left my stop just at break even, which was up here a little bit, and seen what happened. But this was a pretty strong candle right after it. This was a strong candle when it was happening. And it's like immediately the candle opened and, stop filled. And so now we're trading back down. I don't know where we're going to go within the next hour and 45 minutes till market close. And we may very well go to my full target. My reason being, when I came back from the trade, from the appointment, and started evaluating the trade, we were in like this area right here, I believe, when I came back. So I'd already missed this pump down. Had I been home and managing the trade, seeing this tweezer bottom right here, I probably would have exited the trade anyways before all this came back up, or I would have at least exited one contract maybe. But so when I came in and we were up here, I started drawing my boxes again to try to see what my supports were, what my resistances were, and we pushed back down through here, and I came back to check the computer, getting ready to go into power hour, and I made the decision. I was like up like 200 ticks right here. My target, I had 2 targets, one from the original entry that was way down, and one from the secondary entry, which I was sticking to the 1-to-1 on the range, which was like 400 ticks down. So it's 443, I think, is what it ended up being from my second ad on the average for it. And when I came back and we were up here, I was like, crap, we got to see what's going to happen. My stop was still up above the wicks up here above this box. It was up above this box here at pre-market low. So I had a long ways to go on the stop at, like 100 points to go up there and stop me out. And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, for one, we're nearing the end of the day. Time is running out. I'm not going to go for the other one. It's like 1,300 ticks down to the bottom of that bottom target that I had. And the reason I put it there was in case we just crashed down. I wasn't actually trying to target that area 100%. It was at the same place that the dark horse indicator was showing the target for today, which is a 2R trade on my risk. And so I moved everything there just in case we did sell off really hard, but I wasn't really trying to get to that. I was just trying to manage the trade to the best of my ability as we went down, which, as you can see, I didn't get to do very well because we did break all the way down and put in the low at 29,500, and I let it come all the way back up, and then we sold down again, came up and sold down even further. And then I was gone during this time. I would have loved to have gotten out down here, but the pricing and the things that I was going through in my mind was that there's no way we're making it to that, so I'm going to go ahead and move both of my targets. I'm going to move that up to where both targets are at the same place. And then I was thinking, okay, I'm up like 200 ticks. My target's 400 ticks. I'm halfway to my take profit. I was 3/4 of the way roughly to the take profit down here. So I'm going to go ahead and move to break even. That way I can't lose anything. So then I moved it to break even. I drew this shelf in here. We broke through it. We were kind of chopping around, and then we tested it immediately after breaking through, and then kind of pushed back up into it here. So that was my reasoning behind it. I said, okay, this one was tested right here, so I could have moved it into that one, and probably should have. But I was like, I wanted to tighten it up a little bit more because I didn't want to give any money back, and that's one of the things that one of the biggest things I hate to do is to lose money after being up on the day. That's like a terrible feeling. And I didn't like being in the trade anyways when I had to leave for my appointment and stuff. So I just went ahead and moved it. You can see we got a big green candle coming up now. So when I moved it down, I was like, I'm happy with that. It's like $160 or something like that. I'm happy with that. And then it tagged me out. So overall, a pretty good trading day. I didn't trade my funded account again. This was just the eval account. When I came into this morning, I had 4 targets to the downside and I had 4 targets to the upside. We were looking like we were going to break low early on. So I took off. I actually had the funded account on to copy trade, and I turned it off because I didn't like shorting into the support that we were at. And the both of the trades were a C trade, whether it was long or whether it was short, and I was okay with that, with taking a C trade, and that doesn't necessarily dictate whether I'm going to trade the funded account or not, because the majority of trades are C trades, but I didn't want to take the short into the support in case we did lose. Thankfully, we didn't. I ended up green, a little bit more money in the eval account. I have to start trading the funded account eventually, so I'm just trying to find a good day where I feel like everything lines up to where I can take a higher probability trade and not get the account into drawdown on the first day. So it would have been okay today, but I also wonder if it would have affected my mentality a little bit today. And one of the things that I like about Claude and talking to it while I trade is it was pointing out things that I didn't even realize. It was, I'm talking to it like, oh, hey, if it comes up to here, I'm going to add in, and this is why I'm going to add in and stuff. And it points things out that I sometimes have to clarify and say, well, no, this is part of my trading plan, or these are the rules and stuff like that. But it makes a lot of good points. Like yesterday when I added in, instead of adding in 2 contracts every time, I was only adding in 1, and it was like, this is very similar to where you were 10 and 12 contracts deep and hit your max daily drawdowns last week. And I could see a lot of where that similarity is, but immediately I can also see the difference in my mindset and how I'm talking about adding. I wasn't adding 2 contracts every time. I was only adding 1. I had an idea to take them off. Had I entered up here and this one had triggered, I would have taken it off as we broke lower instead of, this one. I would have taken it off instead of waiting, because when we broke down through here, I would have taken 1 off and I'd been back to 1 contract. And then when we came up, I potentially could have added again. That's something I really want to work on, is handling the number of contracts in a trade and trying to maximize my reward, we'll say, on the risk that I take. And I am glad I got out now because we did rebound. And that's one of the things, you never know what the market's going to do. You can control what you do, your size, when you enter and when you exit, but you can't control what the market does in between. You have to be thinking of these things all the time as they go through. Like, what's the biggest probable thing that's going to happen at this particular point in time? Again, overall, $167.50 in the account today. You can see the funded account still not touched. $50,897. So I got about $1,100 left, or $2,100 left to go on this one to fund it. It sucks because I've had these days ever since, $100 days, $75 days, and all that, and this was at $51.50 already, or $51,500 before, so I'm still $700, $600 away from where I was before I took the $1,200 drawdown day. So that kind of sucks. I would be, pretty close to funding this account had it not been for that $1,200 day, $1,200 loss day, I should say. So hopefully you learned something through this, and hopefully I didn't bore you to death. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. Subscribe if you haven't, and share this with somebody who you think would benefit from what I talk about in my trading and what I'm learning as I go through.